Good morning, everybody. It's me, Lala. Thanks for stopping by for the video. Happy Sunday, everybody. It is Sunday, May 25th, 2025. We are in the 8 a.m. hour here at Lilleybugglane. So it's early. It certainly is. But the neighborhood is quiet. The birds are singing, and it is sunny. So guess what? We are going to walk in the back garden. Since we can, right? The grass is still a little bit wet, but we're going to make the best of it. And we have a guest walking with us, Chewy, so he will point out anything that I am not too sure on. So grab a beverage, friends, and sit back and enjoy the garden tour. We are at the corner of the house here, and we have yellow marshmallow daisies in a pot. We also have purple, white, and red flowers planted in this vintage wicker planter, and then we have a Dracaena spike in the middle of it. So we are hoping, very, very optimistic, that this will become full and flow over the edge of the planter as it gets more established in the planter. Let's move on, friends. Okay, you're going to hear lots of birdies because they are singing their morning songs here at Lilleybugglane. So you see how well the hostas are doing. They are coming up very, very well and very fast. So you know that by the time they reach their full potential or their full growth this year, they should cover the brick at the bottom of the house there. We have a new fountain. Chewy just bought that new fountain. He bought 2 of them at Lowe's. Excuse me. Quiet it down in the gallery. So we have a new fountain in the bird bath here, and the birds are going to love it. This is solar, and he just bought it at Lowe's. So he bought 2 of them, and they're to replace the ones that we had in there before. Now, here's where the cupcake tree was. And as you can see, at least we think, there's not too much of a difference not having it there, right? Not too much. And we have planted 3 plume grass bushes here. Now, these are annuals. They will not come up again, but just to put something here for the season, we went ahead and decided to do the plume grass. So that is going to look spectacular once they start to grow and the plumes start to come out, right? Right. Chewy's going to be mowing here in the probably this evening because we're expecting rain starting tomorrow. So we want to get the grass mowed. So we have our strawberry cream marigolds right here in this planter, and we absolutely love these. Now we're going to be sowing the seeds from the dead heads that we pinch off once the flowers are done blooming. And then in that right there, that is the, did you put the Thumbelinas in there? The Thumbelina ones? Okay, thank you. So in this right here, which you know is usually our zinnia pot, we got a new type of zinnias, and they're called Thumbelinas. And they're only supposed to be about 4 to 6 inches tall. So we're very, very excited about that. So we'll see. We'll keep our eyes on that to see how well they do. Instead of having the real tall zinnias right here. So, and you can see they're already sprouting. So very, very excited about that. Now we haven't planted our herbs yet. We have not done that. We're waiting a little bit till the season gets a little more established before we put out our herb pots. So right here we have 2 pots. Now this is the wire plant that I love so much. Remember? Look at that. Look at the wire branches coming out already. Now there are 2 of them planted in this pot, so this will get wonderfully full. And then we have this right here, which we have a thriller, which is the tall plant. We have the filler, which is the petunias in there. We have some asparagus fern, and then we have this trailer right here with the flowers on it. So remember, thrill, fill, and spill keep those 3 words in your mind when you're planting a pot, and you'll be successful every single time. Okay, here on the hose holder, we have just a basket. This was a hanging basket, and these are kind of a magenta colored miniature petunia, so that this will fountain out and it'll cover the top of the hose. Excuse me. Cover the top of the hose holder. So there we have that right there. Nobody's watching us right now out the door. Okay, so here we go. The Mandevilla has been moved. It certainly has. It has come in front of the front supports here on the teepee that Chewy made. And we've had some flowers bloom, and we've had some flowers fall off. And we do have, look at all those blooms. We do have lots of blooms. So we're excited about this, and this will hopefully vine up the teepee. Now, as you can see, there I am. Hello, everyone. As you can see, we have a lot of echinacea that is starting to come up. We have the allium right there that is doing very, very well. We have the butterfly bush, which is doing very, very well. We have put out our umbrella base. So if we're sitting out here and the sun gets to be too intense, we can just drop an umbrella in that base and it'll cover the glider and more of the patio right here. We have our 3-pot trio right here. Now in this right here, we have what is it called globe basil? Okay, we have globe basil here. Now this is supposed to grow into a round shape like a globe. So we'll see how that does. We bought a rosemary bush, so we're excited about that. And then of course we all know the campfire marshmallow daisies, right? And these will just show wonderfully once they get established in the garden here. So this is our trio of pots right now. Here at the one end of the glider, we have our table petunias, tri-colored, yellow, hot pink, and orange, and they are doing absolutely wonderful. They've been beaten down a bit by the rain because we've had so much rain, but they'll perk back up once we get some consistent sun. We have a double pot set right here. We have the wire plant, which is one of my favorite friends. If you have never grown wire plant in your garden, I encourage you to do it. It is so much fun, and it's a nice, unusual plant to have in the garden. We also have a pot here. Remember, thrill, fill, and spill. So we have our purple right there, which is it's a form of sage, but it flowers continually, and the hummingbirds love it. It is an annual. And then we have the campfire marshmallows right there, daisies, and then we have some African daisies. Those are the fillers. We also have the asparagus fern, and we have the lime-colored creeping Jenny. And then we have these right here, which are what I told you was at Walmart. And this is just a green plant, but it has this unusual, I'm going to say flower, but I don't know if I'd say flower, but that's the end of each stem. It blossoms out into this green starburst kind of looking thing. So very, very interesting. And we're hoping that the bees and the butterflies and the hummingbirds will like these flowers here. So we're going to continue on. We have alliums on this side, as you all know. We're continuing with the echinacea, and we are waiting. It won't be till later in the season, but we will buy more echinacea to fill in. So we're looking at that. We also have our fairy wand right here. We all know that this is fairy wand. So you know that'll get very tall and it'll get a long fuzzy purple top on it. So we have that. Then we have 4 pots here. And we have our purple plume grass. We have marigolds with a dracenia in the middle. We also have our double bloom euphorbia right here. That smells really, really good, friends. And then we have this pot. What is in here, honey? You don't remember. Okay. Does it look like zinnias maybe?
It might be the taller.
That might be the taller zinnias. Well, we'll be surprised. We'll be able to tell here pretty soon once they get a little taller. So that is our 4-pot corner right there. Now marigolds are very, very easy to grow also. Marigolds and zinnias are easy to grow, especially for the littles. So if you have littles in your house, if you have grandchildren that are going to come over, plant some marigold seeds or some zinnias because they're very easy to grow. They grow very fast and they give a lot of show once they're blooming. And once they bloom and they turn, they shrivel up and start to lose their prettiness, you just pinch them off, let them dry out, and then you can get the seeds out of them. And later in the season, we will show you how we sow the seeds from some of our flowers. That way maybe you'll be interested in doing it too. So, and we are so excited about the purple plume grass, aren't we? We certainly are. Now here are the alliums, and they didn't do as well as we had hoped this year. The leaves are already starting to die off, and the alliums are already starting to kind of fade away. But these are the allium. And we do love these, and we will be getting more of these to add to different parts of the garden. So they're a really early bloomer. And then of course we have the daisy wave here, and you can see how that is coming along, right? Look at that. Pretty soon we're going to be able to take a ride on the daisy wave. We certainly are. We can't forget the other corner of the patio, can we? We certainly cannot. So this is the other corner where we have our bird bath, our pineapple bird bath, and we have a trio of pots here. We have our sunset African daisies, which we absolutely love. We have the purple daisy, African daisies on the other side. And this, friends, this is new at Lilleybugglane this year. This is citronella. Oh, if you have not ever had citronella in your garden, I highly recommend it. First of all, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Second of all, when you touch it with your hands and kind of rub it, it gives off this wonderful citronella, natural citronella scent. So look for that at your local Lowe's or Walmart or your local plant nursery and see if you can find citronella. Also, lemongrass is also very good to grow to repel mosquitoes, and marigolds too. Marigolds are very good at repelling mosquitoes too. So those are the kind of plants that you want to have around your patios or your decks or your porches and stuff. All right, let's keep going. Okay, we're going to move into the wet grass here. So you'll see that we have put out some of our garden ornaments. So you see our little bunny right there. Now that came from QVC years ago. That is Valerie Parhill. And you see that Chewy has a fountain in the Olympic size bird bath. So there we go. You also see we have our Dynatrap out. Now we have this Dynatrap to keep the mosquitoes out of the back garden. It works wonderfully. This is a 1/2 acre size Dynatrap, and you can go on the Dynatrap website if you are interested in that for your yard. It is wonderful. And the mosquitoes and the bugs just get caught underneath there, and then you just empty it once every week or 2 weeks. So we really, really like that. But here is the new fountain that Chewy got, another one of them at Lowe's. And you can see this one's nicer because it has the little stabilizers that keep it still in the bird bath. We've planted some yellow marigolds. We had them left over, friends. I didn't know where to put them, so we just put them here. So we've got some marigolds around there, and those will get nice and full and have a nice little splash of yellow there. Now, remember when, right here, there were those leaves, and I said I thought they were gladioli, and Chewy said that they were bearded iris. They were bearded iris. You were right, because some of you did put it in the comments from our last garden tour. They did not flower for some reason, so I had Chewy chop them down, Chewy, because, you know, I don't like things that don't bloom or look pretty. So here we have the red, I don't know what they're called, but they're red flowers. They look like bleeding hearts, but they're not. And these will come out, and the hummingbirds love them. Then we have this purple plant right here. I don't know the name of it, but it's going to look beautiful, and the bees are going to love it. Look at the clematis. Chewy is so excited about this. Look at all of the buds on the clematis. Can you see them? Look closely, friends. And it is climbing up the trellis that Chewy built. So very, very excited, and we will love to see this. And I will be sure to have a garden tour when this is blooming, or at least take a picture and put it on our community post, right? Right. These are purple, right, honey?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, these will be purple clematis. Okay, then we have something there. I think that might be bee balm. I'm not positive, but I think it's bee balm. Now, Chewy weeds this quite frequently, but this is right underneath the bird seed. So we have quite a time keeping that all weeded. So here is our cucumbers that are planted. We are so excited. And there, of course, is the cucumber teepee. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll be excited about the cucumbers. Have you planted anything here, honey?
No, that's walking in and out.
Oh, walking in and out. Okay. So here we are at the garden. Now, we're going to have to do a second planting, friends, because as you can see, with all the rain, we have lost some plants. And we got some sad, sad, sad looking things right there. But we'll do another planting. So Chewy did plant some of the seedlings that he had grown downstairs. And this is just muddy back here. And he has taken some of the grass clippings from the yard and put them along there. And that seems to keep the bunnies from trying to get into the netting and everything. So, but this is what we've got going on so far. Now here is the radishes, correct? Correct. Radishes. And then carrots. Oh, I see them. Do you see the carrots, friends? Look. Now, we did get a bunch of carrots last year, and I was able to put them in a pot of soup. So that is very exciting. This is very wet back here. So we've had quite the rain. These are onions where?
Those little things that are coming up.
Oh, okay. Those are onions. Okay.
That's cabbage.
That's cabbage. Oh, that's cabbage? Oh, I'm excited. That's cabbage right there, friends. That's cabbage. Oh, exciting. What's this right here?
Peppers.
Peppers. Exciting. And then we have tomatoes, right?
Yep.
And last evening, our neighbors gave us 2 Fabuloso cherry tomato plants. So they will be going in too. So we're excited about that. Is this a zinnia?
It's a mounding zinnia.
Oh, this is a mounding zinnia. Is this a perennial?
No.
No. Okay. Well, there's a mounding zinnia, friends. Oh, there's a tomato plant in there. Chewy put a tomato plant in the middle of them to keep it up. Is that what you did?
Well, that's one day ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now we're going into the fabulous. As you can see, Chewy has put out the landscaping lights, so that's exciting. and we're going into the hosta area. Now this is filled in very, very nicely. Very, very nicely. And we have had some bunnies and a couple of wanderers seek shelter underneath here, and that's exactly what it's for. So we're happy about that. We have our miniature petunias back here on a stump just to give it some color back here. We have the Rosa Sharon right here. Now Chewy we're trying to decide if we want to move these. We're trying to decide, but we're not sure. And I'm not too keen on the way that this blade grass is looking so far this season. But remember, it has been very, very wet here, so we need to give it a little bit of time to dry out and see how everything dries out. Then we have our bearded irises here that are done, so that needs to be chopped down. There's the other Rose of Sharon. It's got some green coming up. It's got some green. We experiment where we let the dead wood stay and then see what comes up. So it's kind of an experiment. We have our yellow miniature petunias on the stump right there. So those will be getting fuller and draping over. Now, this is our Black-Eyed Susan area, and we think something has happened. Stratospheric aerosol injection. Because it is not doing well. So we're going to have to decide what we're going to do here. Right? Is that just a weed, sweetie? Okay, well that needs to be pulled up. Then we have our empty spot right here. We're moving into daisies. Oh, this has come up real nice. Right here. Huh, okay. Those are daisies right there. And look, we have some blooming clematis. These are the white ones. Now, can I tell you, it took us so long to grow clematis, and now all of a sudden we're able to grow it. What's up with that? And look, it's going up the trellis. Fabulous. Fabulous. Now here's the allium. These are the large allium, and they've already finished. So what will happen is once all of the purple is off, Chewy will cut these, and then we'll keep them up at the patio as decoration. And they dry out and they look like firecrackers. But this plant did really well because it has quite a lot of blooms on it. And then of course we have our giant allium. And these are wonderful too. Look at that. They look like little fireworks making a big firework, don't they? They certainly do. So there we go. And then we have our peonies, which did not do great this year. They did not do great. But we do have one that's blooming here, red. And then we have a couple of blooms here. And then I don't see any blooms on this one. And then we have a couple of red blooms here. We certainly do. Oh, look how pretty that is. Doesn't that look, that looks like a rose almost, doesn't it? It does. And then we have our little peony there. So these did not do great this year. They certainly didn't. Not as well as they did last year. So there's that. This needs to be weeded. Yes, it does. But okay, so this is our crepe myrtle. Yes. And look, you can see there's it's coming up. It's coming up. So we're fine. And Chewy has a little project to do here after we're done. After we're done videotaping. So let's move on to the secret garden, friends. So just an overview of what we have already seen. Let you listen to the birdies singing their songs and arguing, having their morning discussions, right? Right. And you can see we have some nice blue skies here this morning at Lilleybugglane. Okay, on to the secret garden, friends. This needs to be trimmed, but we are waiting for it to finish its spring growth spurt. So that will be trimmed up nice and tidy, right? Nice and... Chewy, I think I just saw the hummingbird go into the tree. Right on that limb right there. Keep an eye on it, right there. We've noticed a hummingbird that is coming out of that tree, and it goes and sits on the light line at our neighbor's house. So it went right on that bush, Chewy. Keep an eye on it. Okay, here we go, friends. This is the, how do we say it? Astabila? Astabila? Okay, so that's what that is. Oops, sorry. We have some landscaping lights here, which makes it look super pretty. This is the church hydrangea, so we're excited about that. We have some daisies right there. Exciting. What is this, sweetie? Is that allium?
Yes.
Okay, allium right there. We have tickweed right here. We have our Asiatic lilies right there. We have echinacea coming up all over the place. We have black-eyed Susans right there. Our phlox is doing very, very well. It certainly is. We have some fairy wand right there. We do. So that's exciting. And then we have some double bloom euphorbia right there. We also have some yellow campfire marshmallows. And then we have some yellow mini petunias right there. Right? Very, very nice. And let's see. What are these, sweetie? Gladioli? Okay, I don't like that. I don't like that flower. And what are these right here? Mounding zinnias. Okay. Now, these three right here, we had extra, and I just did not know where to put them. So I said to Chewy, just throw them in the secret garden. Throw them in the secret garden, Chewy. And that's exactly what he did. So there we go. We have some more tickweed here. We have daisies here. This is a hydrangea right here. We have allium right there. That is a little azalea from the church. Then we have the big hydrangea right there, which is, look at all that new growth on the old wood. And then we have the new growth, right? So we left the dead wood on that. So it's always an experiment, friends. It's always an experiment. And then, of course, we have, what are these?
That's more allium.
Oh, allium. Okay. That'll be wonderful. And then, of course, we have more tickweed right there. And then we have fairy wand right there. And then we have a little zinnia right there. I hope it's a mounding.
It is.
Okay, good. So there we go, friends. There we go. Now, Chewy and I are having an argument. He wants to take the burning bush out at the end of the season, and I say, no way, Chewy, the burning bush stays, because I think it's a good anchor at this end of the secret garden. So, and of course, the back, once all the flowers grow, you won't be able to see the back of the garage. So, and we're still debating about having a new garage, so. And look at that fern. Look at that rogue fern right there. Crazy, crazy rogue fern. So here we go, friends. Lots of new things to see, right? Lots of new things to see. Let's move along. Okay, friends, we're next to the garage. I seem to think this is from the deer. Why do the bricks keep getting tipped over? Huh? Oh, the person who mows the lawn doesn't put them back? Oh, okay. Look at this hydrangea, friends. Look at it. Look how much it's grown already. I think this is going to be a banger of a year for this hibiscus. Did I say hydrangea? I think it's a hibiscus. But it's going to be a banger of a year for that, isn't it? It certainly is. Then, of course, we have our echinacea, which is a favorite right? We have our echinacea. We have our coreopsis along here. And you can see the drip line from the roof of the garage. Now, here's our ugly original garage door. So what did we do? We got the clearance tiered planter that we got at Walmart, and we planted red, white, and purple, which is supposed to be blue, but that's okay, petunias in it. So how fabulous is that going to look, friends, as the season continues on and the petunias become full, and it's going to look like a flag. It certainly is. So there we go. And then we had some leftover African daisies, and we just put them right here so they will mound up and look absolutely fabulous. Okay, friends, we're coming to the end of it. I promise, we're coming to the end of it. So we have our bushes here, and this is the blackberry. It's doing okay. This is the blueberry. It's still hanging on, friends. It's hanging on by a stick, isn't it? It certainly is. We have our purple plume grass right here. We all know that we love the purple plume grass, right? Right. We also have another bird bath that's going to go out into the garden. This is a fabulous bird bath, so that's going to get put out into the garden. That got taken down from the garage attic last night, so yesterday evening. So that's going to go out in the garden. We have another purple plume grass. And last but not least, friends, we are at the corner of the garage. We have a planter that has the campfire marshmallow daisies and 2 pots of miniature petunias that are tri-colored, red, yellow, and purple. So 1 on each side. So that's going to look absolutely fabulous. And I got that idea from the nursery when we went to go pick up the flowers. And of course, these will be blooming soon, and we know that these are a fabulous, fabulous carpet of yellow. Oops, I didn't tell the truth, friends. We got to look at the sunflower garden, don't we? Now, we have 2 sunflowers here that were volunteers from last year, but Chewy has planted the sunflowers, and we also have zinnias planted in here. And if you look real close, friends, you can see that the zinnias are starting to come up, right? Right. So they're super easy to grow. And then we also have sunflowers. We certainly do. So there we go, friends. That's it. That is our garden tour episode 3 here at Lilleybugglane. I hope that you have enjoyed our time together as much as I have, and I certainly have. And we want to thank Chewy for all the help that he gave us as we were touring the garden. And he will fix the bricks, friends. He certainly, certainly will. Please feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know how your gardens are growing. Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow? Right? Right. Thank you all so much. I hope everyone's having a great, great day. Remember, this is pre-recorded, so this is May 25th, Sunday. And I will probably upload this Monday or Tuesday. I'm thinking Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a great, great week. It was a short week because of Memorial Day. Are we ready, friends? I think we're ready. I hope you are happy. I hope you are happy. I hope you're healthy. Take your zinc every day. It is up to us, friends. Let's all say it together. Healthy people are not profitable. And I hope you are safe. I certainly, certainly do. Know the weather in your area so you can be prepared and not scared. Check out Max Velocity to know the current weather that is expected in your area. I think of you all often. You are never far in my thoughts, and we will be together again soon.